Hey everybody, Larry Transformed here again, and today I want to do something a little special as, for those who don't know, it'll be July 2nd when I post this, and that'll be my four-year anniversary of joining YouTube. Yay! Hooray! Woo! About 2 years ago, I celebrated this by doing a Bruticus week. Don't think I celebrated it last year, but this year, 4 years, that's a long time on YouTube, so, especially in YouTube time. So let's do something both nostalgic and a little bit new. This is the Super Sentai Joint Gattai series GaoKing. I do think I mentioned these figures in my Animus review, but now I want to do a full review of them. If you don't know, this is kind of a Legends type series for the Super Sentai. Little miniature robots that kids could afford and more easily play with. And their special gimmick is similar to Mugenbein. If you don't know what Mugenbein are their special figures that are like Transformers where you can turn in different modes, but they do it by part forming. And these essentially do the same thing, with parts that aren't meant to really come apart, or would normally not come apart. For example, the lion, Gao Lion here, not to be confused with Gao Leon from Gao can of course come in two pieces. He has his body piece and he has the head. The bird has 4 pieces: its wings, the main body, and the tail / MegaZord head. Shark comes in 2 pieces, split right down the middle. The tiger splits in 2 pieces between the body and the head. And the bull comes in 4 with the MegaZord legs, the front of the bull, and the bull head. Normally there's really not much you can do with this set, as they are all animal pieces, so it's hard to be as creative with these. But a lot of other figure sets are a bit more interesting. So let's get them all put back together. But I think you guys get the main idea of these figure sets. They're meant to be little miniature sets, more simplified versions of the main mechs, so that way they're cheap and easy for kids to buy, while also providing something different and a new gimmick that kids will most likely like. And I have seen a lot of these used in very creative ways to create new mechs and new kinds of robots even. Especially when you have ones that are meant to kind of combine. The flaw to this series is that, as mentioned, these are extremely simplified. As you may have noticed, Gao Lion has a big crater in his head and back. As well as the legs are kind of just forming a big block, so that way you can form the chest properly. So, yeah. Very simplified. No articulation in any of these, pretty much. I mean, technically you can say there's articulation in some of them, because, how the joints are attached, and you can see the head swivels. But for the most part, they are kind of just static. And another example here is where the wings on the actual figure of Gao Eagle, the wings are filled in, kind of actually going from here to here. Well, here they kind of look almost like watermelon slices that have been eaten, or watermelon rinds. They kind of just look empty, so they don't look quite like wings as much. Well, it's kind of nice you can actually fold them back and kind of have him look like he's roosting. Others get through just fine, like Gao Shark. He looks fine, but because he was pretty simple to begin with, even with the official figure. Gao Tiger suffers a little bit because the shoulder pad is kind of stuck to her butt. Gao Bull does take Gao Bull and Gao Lion probably take the biggest hits, with Lion having that crater, and Gao Bull stuck with the Megazord legs pretending to be bull legs. So yeah, like I mentioned, very simplified, but still very fun figures. So, for the transformation, it's pretty much the same as the official one, the official Wild Force Megazord or GaoKing. Just, like I mentioned, simplified. So, you're going to do it with parts forming, pretty much. Pop off the front of Gao Bull, split the legs, and attach the Megazord legs to the bottom of Gao Bull's front legs. And there you go. That forms the legs. Take Gao Lion, he just pops on top. Gao Shark, don't even need doing parts for him, just turn his head, attach. Same with Gao Tiger, just make it sure it's forward, turn the head, attach. Gao Eagle is the one who gets completely torn apart here. You have to pop off both his wings and the tail piece. So you're going to take Gao Eagle, he'll fit right in the crater that Gao Lion has had in his back all day. Snap right in. You're going to take the wings, attach them to these little parts on next to the lion's head. Then take GaoKing, the tail or GaoKing head, and just pop on top. And one thing I do like, you may have noticed, there are extra pieces, all extra little bits and bobs. You do have these little circles over here. You do have the little pegs all around, some pegs in the back. Even some pegs on the back sides of Gao Lion, and even to the point that you could take the arms and actually swap them around and still have it look right. Or mostly right. There we go. And you also have extra head points up here, so you could use Gao Eagle for other things, or if you wanted like a two-headed Megazord, you know? That is the fun thing about this set, is that there are extra little bits and bobs to work with, like even like a whole Gao Shark there, so you could possibly give him some kind of weapon. Or the extra sides on here, so you could maybe turn Gao Tiger into a weapon. But yeah, as I mentioned, simplified. For size, you know, here he is next to the joint Gattai Deca Ranger Robo. And to give you an idea of size to the original, I don't have GaoKing, but here is Animus, or Gao God if you prefer. And you can see, not much shorter, but definitely a size difference. And there's definitely a weight difference, as, you know, the Gao series in Wild Force were full of metal. This is a really heavy figure, and this is very light, very, you know, and if the kid breaks it... Oh no, his leg popped off. Oh, he goes back on. Hooray. Very kid-friendly. And he is quite accurate. Excuse me there. He is fairly accurate to the original. There are some issues, you know, inaccuracies, like how there's bull feet right here. Gao Shark's little flippers are still sticking out. And there are, of course, a lot of missing paint. Like, from the front, he looks fine. You look from the back, you notice the silver's missing on the legs. There's no fancy details on the sides or the backs of the legs. The Gao Lion's legs are just sticking out the back instead of folding up. The nails aren't painted. You might notice that Gao Shark's teeth aren't painted silver as they're supposed to be. Same with Gao Tiger over here. Gao Tiger's mouth can't move. One that's especially noticeable is there's no paint on Gao Lion's mouth. Although it is nice, they all have their eyes painted. They do, in fact, all have their eyes painted. Even the tiny little green crest on Gao Eagle's head. So they did what they could. And the face of the Megazord or Robo is very well painted. All the black lines through the crests are painted. The tiny yellow eyes and nose of the tiger face is painted. Even the little silver teeth. The Megazord face itself is painted, including the lion teeth right below his chin, and even his eyes are green with some black around them to help them stick out more. So the pieces that they did paint are painted extremely well. Like I said, there are details missing, but considering this is like a little legend style figure you can get for about $20, $20 to $30. He's really nice. He is a really nice figure. Articulation, he actually has decent articulation. I mean, you do get a full swivel of the head, which you cannot get with the normal GaoKing or Gao series figures because that's how their helmet transforms. So it actually got an articulation point that even the original doesn't have. You do get fully rotating shoulders. You do get a swivel at the fist. Full rotation, and here it's more of an elbow swivel, but same idea. No elbows, or no actual elbows, and that's pretty much it for articulation. But considering this is a Legends version of a Power Rangers or a Super Sentai mech, it's still good. It's still pretty dang good. I mean, considering Super Sentai and Power Rangers are infamous for having barely any articulation, and I do like they actually still have the detail for the joints. Like you still see where the elbow joint would be on Gao Tiger and Gao Shark, even having a little separation part as if he is transformed. So that is pretty neat, and I do think it works very well as a representation of GaoKing. It's very good as a Legend series. It does everything it's meant to do. It has a cool gimmick that is very fun to mess around with. I mean, you could do stuff like that. You know, if you got other figures, like what's fun for me is if you take, like, say, when a Gao or a Deca Ranger Robo's fists and replace Tiger's head with it, you now actually have a hand for GaoKing, and it looks pretty cool actually. So I kind of like mess around with stuff like that. It is a lot of fun to kind of create your own Robo with it. Especially since each series has like different places where stuff comes apart. So yeah, I do highly recommend him. He works well as a Legends figure. He works well as a Power Ranger, as a representation of the Power Rangers / Super Sentai mechs and Megazords. The individual Zord modes are not the best, but that's just due to how this particular one transforms. Other ones do look a lot better. And I think he's just a fun little figure to mess around with. So, this has been Nerdy Transformed. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you enjoyed the 4 years of the time I've spent on YouTube. So, have a great day and take care. Hope to see you again soon.